All right, everybody, welcome back to episode 35 of the Popboyz, where you ain't a pop boy till you pop.
Boy.
I am joined on my right by my brother Dan.
What's up, guys?
And I am joined on my left by John Simpkins.
What's going on? Happy Tuesday.
Does John know about Juan?
You're gonna tell him? I thought we were just gonna keep this as like a funny thing.
Oh, no.
I guess in hindsight, I wish I didn't say something.
You got to say it now.
Juan Dimkins.
Juan, do you know about Juan Dimkins?
No. Nope.
All right, so do you know what?
He should know.
I mean, no choice now.
It's his twin.
There's a
Not twin.
Have
That's
you ever
mean to say twin.
Have you ever seen a? Have you ever heard?
Hang on. We can't be too specific here.
No, I won't. But have you ever heard of Bizarro? Did you ever watch Seinfeld?
No.
You've never seen any Seinfeld episodes?
Brittany watches every once in a while. I'll watch it. Like, no.
But it's from the Superman.
What?
It's from Superman. Like Bizarro something is.
Oh,
it's
yes.
originally from Superman.
Okay, yeah. So the Bizarro world in Superman is basically like everybody looks the same, but they're different.
Yeah, they're like tweaked in a different way. So like there's a whole Seinfeld episode that it's like the Seinfeld friend group, and they interact with another friend group that is, they all are very like similar, but in like the opposite way.
Okay.
So like Kramer is a character who's super like all over the place, disheveled and everything like that. And they meet Bizarro Kramer, who is the same like build and like height and everything like that, but he's like totally put together and very organized and stuff like that. So
All right.
anyway, so there is
I'm
a Bizarro you.
There's a Bizarro John on the street.
We got to find him.
No, I mean, we don't have to. We found him.
We got a picture?
It would be a little strange to walk up to him and take a picture.
So
But-
he walks around Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
he works close by.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call him Juan Dimkins.
That's too good.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, yeah, we'll
We'll have to point him out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to find him.
yeah.
All right. Well, how was everybody's weekend? Mother's Day?
Good Mother's Day?
Good Mother's Day.
Good Mother's Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even without seeing your mother?
I saw my mother at the game.
I didn't see my mom either.
You didn't see? Don't say
Oh,
either. I did
man.
see my mom.
I saw her on Saturday.
You didn't see your mom either?
We went to ice cream on Saturday.
All right.
Where'd
We
you
went
go?
the Whistle Stop.
What the hell is that?
It's the new place in the Commons. It's wicked good.
The whistle.
Oh,
The
Stop.
Whistle
yeah,
Stop ice cream.
yeah.
I guess it's pretty big in Bourne.
Pecasset. They have a
Pecasset,
place in
yeah.
Pecasset.
So now you say Pecasket?
I did by mistake.
So now they have a Whistle Stop in between Cupcake Charlie and All Good Sport
Yep.
store. Yeah, it was pretty hidden, but we found it. It was good.
Wow.
Make the cones, make the ice cream.
Good.
Mint Oreo.
Good ice cream.
Oh, wicked good.
Mint Oreo sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I've been digging it lately. I think ever since the mint cookie popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah.
Um,
How's the first Mother's Day?
I
Or do you
Fine.
guys wait?
I don't know.
Hold on.
Hmm.
Do you guys celebrate it for Colonel? For being Colonel's mom?
yeah, we used to.
Okay.
I used to get her a card.
All right.
Say Happy Mother's Day.
So it's not new.
but it was always like it was a fun thing that we did together.
Yeah.
We didn't really promote it because like kid people are like, well, that's
wrong.
it's not a real mother. Like,
They should have cards that are meant for dog parents.
That would be big business.
Big business.
yeah.
That
Let's
would
do
be
it.
big business.
I agree with it. I know Pat doesn't agree with it, but I agree with it. Pat does not like dogs.
I like the money idea.
Dog
of it.
hater.
I
Yeah.
think that that's a good business, but yeah, I'm not gonna dive too deep into this one. What'd you get, Brittany?
So your dad actually made a funny point the other day. He's like, John, do you get your wife a Mother's Day gift? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I don't. Mike,
What, he doesn't get Brittany anything?
no, he doesn't. He doesn't get his wife anything.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, all right. So then I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah.
You know what? I'm going to try this.
No. I was like, you know what? I could see that, like, after my kids are old enough where they're kind of buying their mom their own gift. Like, maybe it's like, all right,
You're off the hook.
I'm off the hook.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm in charge of getting, if the kids aren't, like, making gifts at school, which they don't do anymore, which is kind of crazy. But I got stuff for the kids for Brittany.
Nice.
But yeah, we got her like one of those big. She's really into her like wearing robes, so we got her these. It's called like a comfy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
No.
It's on Shark
Oh,
Tank.
yeah, John or Andrew said, did you got one for
best
Christmas?
Christmas gift I've ever
Yeah.
gotten.
Yeah, so she always wears a robe. I mean, I know we're heading into summer, but she had a robe on last night, so I got her comfy.
Nice.
That's good.
What about you, Dan? What'd you get Kim?
A massage.
That's nice.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yep. Just Massage Envy down the street.
Nice.
Okay. Figured it was the easiest one.
So,
yeah.
So I am the worst.
You just didn't get anything.
Didn't get anything.
You hear that, Kim?
It's all right.
You hear that, Kim? Pretty good.
So,
Pretty good on my part.
it was Saturday night. We had lacrosse in the morning, and then I came to the shop. We were working. I got home probably at, I want to say like 7:15 or so, 7:30. I hopped in the shower real quick because I was all dirty, and then I got out and I was like, okay, I got to sit down with the kids and make some cards and do all this stuff. My wife's like, they're already in bed.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
like,
Well,
I'm
wake
like,
them up.
Yeah, I pretty much am like, what do you mean they're already in bed? She's like, they're already in bed. I'm like, well, I have to like make cards with them. She just like rolls her eyes, right? She's like, no, you can't wake them up. You can't do that, all right? Whatever. And so she goes, well, she's like, I gotta go run out to CVS to pick stuff up for your mom and for my mom. And I go, oh, okay. And I slide her a 20 and I say, pick something up for yourself. so she bought
Very nice.
her own flowers and her own gift card.
That's very nice.
So
what
that
type of gift card?
Marshalls.
Wow.
Loves
There you
Marshalls.
go.
Loves Marshalls.
Yep.
But yeah. So I felt like a real piece of shit. And
So it wasn't enough that you didn't see your own mother. You didn't want to get a present for your wife.
no.
I like to neglect all mothers on
Right.
Mother's Day equally.
Yeah,
You're an
makes
anti-mother
sense.
Mother's Day.
Exactly. Anti-dog moms, especially, but
Yep.
also anti-human moms.
So you're
Moms of any kind.
Yes, I anti-celebrate the moms.
Yep.
Well, everybody likes to
Yeah.
call it a Hallmark holiday until the gifts come. I'm hearing a lot of, it's a Hallmark holiday. It's a Hallmark holiday. And then at 7:30 and you're trying to wake your kids up to make some cards, and it's a real holiday.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
holiday.
It's a holiday.
It's a Mother's Day is a straight up holiday. Father's Day is
super
not,
big.
but Mother's Day is.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
wife sent me a thing the other day that said, the best part about Mother's Day is that it's before Father's Day, so you know how little effort you have to put into Father's Day.
That's a great
That
point.
makes sense.
That's
That makes a
great
lot of
point.
sense.
And I'm not very hopeful for anything. on
No.
Father's Day.
No.
What
Nope.
do you guys like to do on Father's Day?
I've never had one.
Well, you've been a dog daddy.
You've been a dog dad.
That's true.
So did
I'll take Colonel for a walk.
Did Kim get you cards?
I'm gonna say yes,
But it's not true.
but I don't. I'm guessing she probably did.
You're
But-
just so void of emotion, you don't remember it. You
Yeah.
didn't categorize it anywhere.
That's right.
You're just like
Yeah.
so sociopathic that you're just like, it probably happened.
I'm assuming it
I
happened.
can't remember.
But it should not move the
Actually,
needle.
so when we went to Mom and Dad's on Mother's Day, when I saw Mom on Mother's Day,
Yes.
when you weren't there, we were looking at my baby book because Kim was like, "Oh, let's see if you have any baby pictures and we can compare it to our newborn and see if there's any similarities." Couple problems. There's not a single picture of me as a baby.
No.
They just didn't take pictures. We have one, and it looks like it's a Polaroid picture taken like as a drive-by. Just like totally walking by, snapped the picture, didn't stop to slow down or anything like that. So it's like a blurry face of me, like someone holding me, and my face is just all blurred out. So, but one of the things I found, like mom and dad kept all like my report cards and stuff from like preschool and kindergarten. And one of the things was apparently our preschool went and visited the kindergarten at the end of the year as like a step up day type thing of this is where you're going to be next year. And these are all the fun things we do and get them excited and not so nervous. And we had a list. The whole class had a list of things you're excited for.
Oh boy.
What are things that like your kids would have been excited for?
Maybe like gym, recess.
Do you do that in kindergarten?
Couple kids in my class said recess.
Yeah.
The whole day's recess.
Lunch. Science.
So shout out my friend Kyle, still one of my best friends.
Famous DJ.
Famous DJ on TikTok. Look him up. Look him up on TikTok. He's a really famous DJ. He's called Be Nonstop. He's one of my best friends. And his excitement, the thing he was most excited for on the list, hopscotch. What an absolute dumb thing to say.
Man.
What a boring game.
Oh,
Hopscotch.
so
That's got to be the
boring.
dorkiest thing ever.
Hopscotch has to be the
I don't think
the
I've
most
ever even
boring
played.
game ever.
So when you play hopscotch, do you just like throw the rock out and then whatever number it lands on, you can't step on
just
that
skip
number?
it.
Oh,
It's so dumb.
It's so
such
dumb.
a terrible sport.
But it's everywhere.
But he was pumped for hopscotch.
So what was yours?
All right, so then also shout out my other best friend Dave McDonald was really excited for the housekeeping corner. It must have been like
He's a stay-at-home husband now.
he is a stay-at-home husband, yeah. So yeah, that was bad. Mine, like people should have saw this and been like, okay, this kid's onto something. Absolute galaxy brain. Mine said losing a tooth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get that dough.
Get that
That
dough.
dough.
Got to get that money.
Yeah.
I like
So,
it.
yeah,
Did you?
losing a
Was there
tooth.
anything else that you gleaned from these old report cards?
I was a hell of a speech writer. I found all my speeches from being a president in 7th grade.
Oh, there you
Wow.
go.
Hell of a speech writer.
Were you president?
I was president in 7th grade, and then I stepped down to vice president in 8th grade.
Nice.
Yep.
Wow.
I was never really into the.
Never anything.
Into the
No.
politics?
No, I was never into the politics when I was young.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of my speech, because I had my election day speech of vote for me. These are all the fun things that we're going to do.
Free
blah, blah,
candy
blah.
for everyone.
Yeah, and I was like, I remember my tagline was, I may not be able to help you with science this year, but I will be able to help you have some fun. And people gravitated to that in swarms. It's like I had a red hat and wrote that on it.
Wow, that's nice.
You had Make America Great Again.
Make 7th grade great again.
Yeah.
And then I found my end of the year speech as like a closing remarks, off duty for the summer.
Sorry that I didn't follow through
in
on
my
anything.
speech. In my speech,
I lied.
It said, I promised you that we would have some fun this year, and if you didn't have fun, I don't know what to tell you because we blew all of our money. That's what the speech said. And it was like, have a good summer. See you next year.
I did my best. The budget's gone.
And I do remember getting to 8th grade as the vice president. And
They're like,
and-
who was in charge?
And
before this?
our teacher,
Who
like,
did this?
advisor was like, you guys there's no money in your account. Like, how are we going to do all these field trips and stuff?
You didn't roll over.
I'm like,
anything.
yeah, we got to find the guy who spent all the money. Oh, man.
Oh.
Anyway.
You guys went to Oak Ridge, right? No,
Yep.
yeah, Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge.
Yep.
All the leaders
Weirdos.
went to Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
What were you? You were Forestdale.
No.
He's wing kid.
Wing school.
He's
Oh,
Canterbury.
Best school.
Well, Canterbury's all over the place.
Yeah, but Canterbury's all
Canterbury's
All
all
wing.
wing. But that whole,
We're surrounded by all four
that
still
whole-
in Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's just so many kids that they're like, we have to send all these kids to wing.
Yeah.
Because not as many kids, I imagine, live downtown.
Or, yeah, past 6A.
Right. Yep. So Canterbury makes up that
Canterbury.
difference. Yeah, it was always crazy when you ran, like people ran for office and things like that.
It was also tough because, and I say this as a winner, but it was just a popularity contest.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to vote on.
Yeah.
There's no other topics of just like, it's just, I like this person and I don't like that other person.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying that as a person who won.
As a liked person.
We always said Jack Stanton.
Jackson, and then he went into politics.
Yeah, and then he went into politics.
Yeah.
He actually, you know what's funny? He called me probably a year ago.
Yeah. What do you say?
He was like,
Vote
it
for
was
me?
after he was running for a sandwich. He's like, hey, I'm sandwich didn't work out. I'm going to Harwich. He's like, will you have my back?
Really?
Yeah.
Making an alliance?
Oh yeah. No,
What'd
he
he
wanted
say?
some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm not really around Harwich too often. I was like, I'll try to put you in touch with some people.
Yeah.
There you go. Shout out Jack Stanton.
Yeah, he's good,
Jack
good,
Stanton.
good guy,
Jack.
good friend.
Yeah. He always seemed like a good guy.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm sure this is going to swing a lot of votes his way.
I hope so.
Now you're
Yeah.
now you're stepping
Yep.
up for him.
Yep. Look at
Giving
that.
him a little pub on the podcast.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so that's the weekend, moving into business stuff. Yeah, we're kind of it feels like we're in the home stretch.
How long is the home stretch?
It's a long home stretch.
stretch. Couldn't be longer.
Do you think, cuz Dan is he would say realistic, I would say pessimistic. I am overly realistic, or as people would say, optimistic.
Beyond optimistic.
Yeah, I am the most optimistic person probably in the whole entire world
As a
for anything.
as a quick aside, anyone who's walked by our place is like, okay, that place obviously is not even close to ready to open. But about a month ago, Pat was like, "You think we can do a soft opening on May 1st?" That was something that came out of his mouth.
Oh, I mean,
2 weeks ago.
I'm shocked we missed it.
Me too.
I
Me too.
am beyond optimistic. Yeah. But so do you feel like are we deep in the valley? Are we at the halfway point, or are we coming back up?
No, we're coming back up.
How close are we to the surface? Could we still drown?
I think we're 3/4 of the way there.
3/4 of the way.
Yes.
75%.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. We'll take that.
Like, there's still a lot of like stuff to build, but even more so, there's a lot of like figuring out the POS system and
Prep.
all the policies and prep and inventory and how do we organize this inventory? How do we
Upscaling our
track it?
ingredients.
How do we track people coming in and all this stuff? That like we need to now create like systems to actually run a business. It's one thing to build it and then be able to flip the sign open, but like there's a whole nother battle that has to wage on to kind of run the business.
So when we're open, how will we be 90% of the way there? Are we going to figure out the last 10? Do we just need to get 15% of the way more there, and then we're going to figure out the last 10% as we run?
Having gone to the what did they call it? Like the alcohol compliance meeting. I'm going to say that we need to be 100% of the way there, organized, at least alcohol-wise. Food-wise, I mean, obviously we need to be inspected and everything like that, but at least with the alcohol, we have to have like everything in a row.
Yeah.
Because they do checks and stuff like that. And
Yeah. And even if they did,
it's just the stakes are higher for
Yeah.
everything else. And it's like the whole thing they harped on, which I agree with, but it's just stuff to think about. When people leave our popcorn store, they walk down the street and it's no big deal.
Right.
But like if someone is overserved, we have to make sure they don't come in. in the first place. And if they are in and we overserve them again or something like that, like basically when they leave our property, they're still our problem until they're essentially home. So it's like the stakes are just higher. Yeah, I don't know why I just went on a rant on that, but
No, it's a good rant.
Yeah.
It's a good prop. You know,
but it's just kind of it's like anyway.
The wheels of progress.
But that's the stuff that I stay up at night thinking about is just kind of like it's the fact of like building this whole thing, but then it's like, okay, then we need to run a pretty large operation.
Yeah.
You know, after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we can't just open and be like, oh, we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but we're getting there. Boardwalk's going in finally. We
Yep.
started the boardwalk last night. Hopefully we'll get a good chunk done today.
Yep.
Bunch of equipment's just piling in.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll be able to get the production area hopefully all kind of like set up at the end of this week, probably early next week. Get a bunch of pieces moved in. Yeah. No, I mean, everything seems to be moving in the right direction, so we'll see. Just keep pushing as hard as we can.
Yeah, Dan's getting some good designs down on some t-shirts.
Yep. Get the t-shirts made up.
Those look sweet.
Yeah, a lot to do.
As somebody that's only here once a week, so I kind of see the progress in chunks. It looks like it's coming along very good.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I don't know that I agree, but
well, I think the
appreciate
rope.
that.
I also think like as little as it is, like the rope, I think makes it look like so nice too. Like when you walk by, like when I got the picture of it at night with the lights and looked great.
So now we're at the point where it's going to be little things that we add in that are going to make a big deal.
Chunk plays.
Yep. We're throwing the ball deep.
Yeah, we're getting some chunk plays now. They're not as hard. Before we were running the ball. We were
in the trenches.
We were Emmett Smith.
Yeah.
And we were 3 yards.
3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, exactly. Just behind the lineman, 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. But now we are Patriots 2000 and what is that?
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy Moss taking the top off.
Yeah.
Chucking it down the field.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the boardwalk, once the boardwalk's in, it's like, oh, this is not just like construction. It will stop looking like there's just like pieces of wood all over the place. So once that's done, that's over with.
Once the sunshades are all in.
And the sunshades will be huge. And
Food
at that point,
truck
it's
gets
just,
pulled up.
food truck. Like those 3 things aren't going to take us a lot of time, God willing, but are going to be like, oh, wow, this is now a restaurant and not a empty lot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then we have start moving the tables out and start putting the chairs around them. And yeah. It's going to be good. All right. Do we have an ad read?
We don't have an ad read is the boards because we're putting in the boardwalk.
Yeah, still selling
That's the other
boards.
thing. On top of this, I'm building a CNC machine basically from scratch.
Yeah, I went down there and looked at that situation.
It's a situation.
It is a situation.
It's we essentially bought a CNC machine. They sent us a box of hardware.
Yeah,
and we're like, good luck.
have fun.
I walked downstairs and I was like, oh boy. Thank God I'm not doing this.
It is an insane piece of equipment that I just need to figure out how to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of little pieces.
I haven't seen a picture yet of what this thing should look like. So walking down there and seeing everything, I'm like, I have not a clue. No idea what this thing is. Like, it's so crazy.
Well,
it is.
Yeah,
It's a million pieces.
When I was buying
A million.
when I was buying the wood for it, when you were like, okay, we need these 2x4s, we need this, and I didn't really have any concept. And then I went down and I was like, oh wow, this is like to build the whole base of this thing.
Yeah, it's 5 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah,
It's basically a big bed
yeah.
that wood sits on, and anyway, it's a nightmare. I'm living a nightmare.
As is tradition.
Now, are you trying to get all, like, whoever ordered a board, their boards in on the boardwalk before we open?
So our plan is to build the boardwalk because I don't know how long it's going to take me to build the CNC machine. It is coming along, so it's getting there. But then once it's built, I have to then tinker with a lot of settings and kind of get everything right to start carving the boards. And I don't know how long that's going to take me. I wouldn't be surprised if that takes me, a week to do that. And then once I have it down and I have a system down that can carve the boards, then I'm planning on carving all the boards that were pre-ordered and then essentially popping up boards that we already put down and putting in the new boards.
Yeah.
So I basically don't want me not being able to figure out the CNC machine perfectly to be the thing that holds us from opening up.
Yeah.
Right, basically. So, but for all the people who bought boards, they are going to be carved. It's going to take me a little bit to kind of tinker with all the settings and make sure that they're carved correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to half-ass them.
No.
Right.
Nope.
Once we carve them, are we going to have to put that wax on them?
Not the wax, but we'll re-oil them.
Okay. Do we have an email?
We have
Whoa.
a couple emails.
Wow.
What's going on?
We have a couple emails. Yeah, one's an email, and then the other one is a user or a listener submitted
Complaint.
"Am I the a-hole?"
Oh, all right.
wow.
All right.
All right, so we'll go with the email first, the regular email.
From Juan Dimkins.
Hey there, Popboyz. You've honestly been a lifesaver for me.
Wow.
Wow.
Let that sink in.
Feels good.
Just letting it wash all over me.
You've honestly been a lifesaver for me. Recently, I had to undertake a long 10-hour drive to Toronto to assist a friend who's new to North America and getting settled. And on the way back, your wonderful company kept me awake and alert, preventing me from falling asleep and kill myself. I can't thank you enough. Seriously, thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
Unbelievable, right?
That feels good.
This is unbelievable.
Um,
Is the other shoe going to drop now? No.
They go on. Yes, I have a visual calendar.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
Yep.
for those who aren't aware,
Crazy.
I talked about having a visual calendar. Just smarter people have calendars in their heads and how they visualize it. Yes, I have a visual calendar. I am Persian. Our New Year is in spring, but we can visualize the image to the Western calendar with a little adjustments as well. My visual calendar is like a clock, and the first day in January is the number 6. First day of April is number 9. First day of July is 12. And the first day of October is 3. And it goes back to the first point after 365 days.
That sounds a lot smarter than your system with the horseshoe.
Yeah.
It's a very similar system.
But theirs is actually complete, that it works correctly. Yours had a big jump from January.
I bet. Well, here's the other thing. They sent a graph.
Oh, nice.
We'll have to put that up.
Yep.
Here, pull it up to the camera.
They sent a graph of how it works. I do think so. Basically, it's an upside down of how mine works.
We'll have to blur out the name.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think she's okay.
Okay.
And
That's her email address.
well,
Her picture.
maybe blur that out. But so if you say January 5th, it's somewhere in the circle between 6 and 7. They go on. It's great to laugh with you. One lesson I learned from Patrick.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Let's be a decent person.
I hope I wrote his name correctly. She did. Is that it's so cool and brave and admirable to make jokes about my own ideas, memories, and laugh about it. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but I'm working on it. Somehow I always go to defense mode, which makes the situation even worse. Thank you, and keep making podcasts.
Wow.
Wow.
What an unbelievable email.
Great. That's
What an unbelievable email.
keep them coming.
I'm going to give her the shout out. That's from Raha.
Nice.
Oh, all right. That's
Thank
your
you, Raha.
that's your friend from Architect,
Used to work
right?
with Raha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Raha's the best. Did not think she would ever listen to this podcast, but I'm happy she does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Raha's the best. Quick story about Raha. she invites me and Kim over to her birthday party. That's what it was. It's her birthday party. And we're like, great, sounds good. What can we bring? Nothing. She's a great cook. And she's like, yep, bring nothing. We get an Uber into Somerville from our apartment. We show up, and we are the only Western Caucasian people at this party. Fine. Everyone else is Middle Eastern, mostly from Iran. Raha's from Iran. And she basically found a pocket of people who are either here at school, at like MIT, Harvard, or just working. And it's essentially the collection of like the smartest, nicest people I've ever met in my life. Insanely smart people. And I'd be talking to people and they're like, yeah, what do you do? One guy that stuck out to me, he was like, yeah, I work with nano something lasers. I'm like, what does that mean? He goes, well, I'm like, we're working in like the medical industry, so essentially I could either save your life with lasers or kill you with lasers. I'm like, that's pretty wild. Like, like brainiac people from like MIT.
Sharks with freaking lasers?
Yeah, that's what it was like. So anyway, the night goes on. We're just kind of chilling out, just chatting with people. It's great. Lights go off, and everyone's kind of in the living room. And they brought out, there's like some like, not like strobe lights, but like someone had like a cell phone. They're like filming it or something like that. And they bring out a knife. And when I say knife, it's like, it's almost like a machete looking like
a saber
knife. That's kind of what it seemed like.
Wow.
It might have just been like a really like intense kitchen knife, but it was a very long knife. And it was, everybody is like, oh, and they start playing some music, and everyone's up and dancing in a circle. I'm like, all right, we gotta join up. And one guy is in the middle, and he has this knife, and he's just going to town with this knife, dancing around in the circle. And me and Kim look at each other and are like, what is going on at this place? And so they pass the knife to someone in the circle, and that person gets in the circle and is dancing with this knife. Like dancing with this super sharp knife.
God, I love it.
It comes to me, and I'm like, all right. And I start dancing in the middle, and I'm with this knife. And I know, and Kim's going to kill me for telling this story, but I know how Kim is and just doesn't want to be like the center of attention. So I'm like, got to give her the knife.
Oh, yes.
And this whole time, for those who don't know, my wife is a nurse. So she's always very like, let's just make sure we're safe here. So when we're doing the knife dance, she's like, we shouldn't be doing this. Like, everyone's got to stop, like, protect ourselves with the knife. And so I'm like, all right, here you go. Here's the knife. Start dancing. And she's like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm like, come on, you got to. And now we're like kind of having like an argument in front of everyone's circled up.
Knife.
Like, just take the knife. Come, just dance a little bit with the knife. Like, we're the guests here. Come on. And she's like, I'm not taking it. I'm like, just take the freaking knife.
Lights flip on.
So she takes it and she's like, nope. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. Everyone else is like, you're being a total buzzkill right now. She puts the knife on the ground and like steps on it and like starts doing a dance. Biggest faux pas, like record scratch. Everyone is like, whoa. Turns out it's the knife to cut the cake.
Oh, no.
And everyone's like, what the, like, no, you can't put it on the ground. Now we got to wash the knife and do the whole knife dance again. So, yeah, like, it was like her most like embarrassing moment. Like, we're guests here and just didn't understand anything that was going on. But yeah, shout out Raha, one of the goats.
I think we should start doing that. The knife dance for birthday parties.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Like, that just
People
gets...
got like, it's way better than the flick the light, happy birthday. Like, this was like, all right, get the knife.
Gets you in the
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah. Imagine
awesome.
that, all little kids with the knife. You'd be like, whoa.
It was awesome.
That gets the adrenaline spiked up. You hand knives to children, you're just like, all right, let's go.
Got to figure it out.
Right. It's either a birthday or a death day.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Someone's coming in and someone's going out.
Yep. Yep. All right. So we got another email that's a listener submitted. Am I the a-hole?
Nice.
From a woman.
Okay.
Hello, Popboyz.
Is this like, do you think this is from her, or just like a random?
I'm guessing it's from her.
All right.
Hello, Popboyz. I'm so glad you are still producing the Popboyz pod, despite the modest attention you've been on getting. I have an entry for your Am I the A-hole segment, and hope you consider using it for the pod. Am I the a-hole for not feeding my niece after she refused to eat the breakfast I made us? You see, I'm a bit of a foodie, and I prefer to cook breakfast for myself most times because I don't have the option. I live in Chatham, right here in the Cape.
Wow.
Anyway, the other night, my niece was staying over for a visit, and in the morning, around 9 a.m., I made her pancakes. I used a gluten-free pancake mix I got at Whole Foods. I added chocolate chips and served them with butter and real maple syrup. I love them, and most people I used to spend time with love them too. But she did not. She only had a bite or two, before refusing to eat more. So I made plain pancakes without the chocolate chips, since I thought maybe it was the bitterness of the dark chocolate that she didn't like. After serving her some fresh plain pancakes, she gave the same reaction, utter disgust. She was set to leave around 11 a.m., so I didn't bother to make another meal, and my sister-in-law flipped out on me after hearing the story from her daughter. She proceeded to call me a child abuser and then had my brother call me. He just laughed at me for being a food snob, but his wife is still mad. Am I the a-hole? That's from Amaya Buttreeks, who lives in Chatham, Mass. Thank you to Mrs. Buttreeks.
Oh man. I'm going first, right?
Yep.
It's so tough. Like, I mean, how old's the kid? Do they say
9,
9?
I think.
So it's kind of like my son. I can kind of relate. Yeah, I mean, I would have found something that she liked and better that. Like I would have been like, all right, have some cereal, have a piece of toast, something. You got to eat something. But I don't think that the girl's mother should be mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you should be. I have this problem with my kids too, because they don't want to eat stuff that we make all the time. And I'm constantly caught in between wanting to make my life easy and just give them something and just be like, all right, eat whatever. I really don't care. Or kind of like putting my foot down because I'm worried that if they don't establish eating some of this other stuff at some point.
End up like Dan.
They'll just end up eating chicken fingers and pancakes for every meal.
Nothing wrong with that.
So I am a little bit nervous about that. Usually the go-to for us is cereal. Like if you don't want to eat what we're making, you can, make yourself a bowl of cereal.
Or PB&J.
What type of cereal?
My wife gets this cereal that is, I don't even know. I don't even know
Wow.
where it's from. Like it's called like Cascade Farms or something like
my
that.
God.
And I bet it's like high protein, gluten free,
Trendy.
Like it's,
Damn.
but it's basically it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
All right.
But and then I have another one that's like Fruit Loops, but it's like high protein. It's like
High protein. That sounds like something I could get behind.
I know. I'm like, you should come check out our cereal selection. You would probably love it.
Come over for a bowl of cereal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I should.
But I feel like that,
Sounds
yeah,
nice.
a peanut butter and jelly or cereal is kind of the go-to. It is annoying though when you make kids something and I just assume that the kids aren't going to like it. I try to ask I think that's the only like you're not an a-hole, but I would just ask my kids like, what do you like? You know, if it was one of my nieces or nephews, I'm not trying to be a hero and change their culinary taste on that day.
No.
It's not going to happen. It's a slow process. So I would just be like, hey, what can I get you? If they're like, I want, a piece of pizza, I'd be like, don't care. Here you go. You're your parents' problem now.
Yep.
Yeah.
But those pancakes do sound delicious.
No, they don't.
Yes,
They don't. They
What, 'cause
this
they're
person's-
gluten-free?
Yeah. This person's the a-hole.
Sometimes
not the
gluten-free
niece.
stuff is good.
I don't know that I've had a single like gluten-free substitute. Some things are gluten-free naturally. that
I
are
get
good.
gluten-free. My wife makes gluten-free a gluten-free meatloaf, and the gluten-free breadcrumbs make the meatloaf better than if you use regular breadcrumbs
I'm not sure I believe that.
and meatballs.
Are you guys? Is she gluten?
Honestly, we've just
Is she gluten?
I mean,
she's
you
not
know
a
what I
piece of
mean.
gluten. No, she's a person that I've made up in my mind. My whole family and everything is fictitious. She's just a piece of wheat. No, I think she's had times where she's like, okay, I don't do gluten, and so we've done some gluten-free stuff, and they've kind of stuck because I think some of it is better. But I agree with you, some of it is much worse.
I think you'd be hard-pressed to find gluten-free pancakes
Yeah, you're
that
probably
are
right.
remotely similar to normal pancakes.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially for a kid.
Well, and especially when you're going. See, my big thing as a kid was syrup. When you're going like,
Well, do you remember the incident?
no,
Oh boy.
There was an incident when our parents would go on like a vacation or something or a weekend without us. We would stay at our grandparents. Shout out Granny and Papa.
yep,
And they would make like pancakes and they would have like the real maple
Vermont.
syrup.
yeah,
And none of us liked it. So from then on, we had to bring our own.
we traveled with Aunt
We
Jemima.
traveled.
Aunt Jemima's?
With
Yeah.
Aunt Jemima.
That's awesome.
Mrs.
Yep.
Butterworth's extra
Yeah.
butter under the arm.
Yep.
I'm not a big fan of the Vermont stuff either. Like, it's just too like strong.
I think it's too runny.
Like, I just think it's too strong.
I like it now.
My wife loves it.
It's what I have now, just because I think it's
It's an adult thing.
yeah.
You can't be getting.
I still use Aunt Jemima's.
You do
Yeah. I mean, or
Sorry,
knockoff
but
brand.
butter flavored.
Yeah.
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 I tell you the truth, I could take it or leave it. Pancake or a waffle.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe John got fired today.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Take it or leave it. It's a dessert. It's not a breakfast.
I'm kind of with you. It's a dinner.
Like, if I have to eat it, it's the last thing I'm eating. Like, I'm eating my hot, like, sausage, bacon, eggs, hash browns. Then if it's there, I'll go to it, but
What about
I'll
French
never
toast?
order it. No, I'm just not into it.
Oh my god.
I'll eat it, but I'd much rather like have eggs Benedict or like biscuits and gravy or like something more hearty and yeah,
I'm with you. on
flavor,
that.
baby.
Yeah.
I want flavor.
Yeah. I like for breakfast. I like it saltier than sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Agree to disagree.
Agree, disagree.
All right. So do you?
Well,
have
thank you for the emails. Anyone else who wants to send in an email,
Keep
it's
'em coming.
popboyspod, boys with a Z, at gmail.com. popboyspod@gmail.com.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you to Maya and Raha.
Yeah, I like that we got like an Am I the A-hole.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
a
that was
good-
nice.
Yep.
Keep
for
them
sure.
going.
All right. When you call somebody, so I have a relative that I don't talk to that often, but I talk to him probably like once a month. And I called him and he didn't call me back.
Oh boy.
So how long do I ever call back? Or do I just let it go forever?
I think ball's in his court.
Yeah. So then what happened? Just never talk again?
Why not you could shoot him a text like, hey, how's it going?
That's a good call.
Like kind of like our little reminder text.
But I don't know. I'm kind of
Is it bothering you? Seems like it's bothering you.
It's obviously bothering him.
He's since called me since I've put this topic out there and we had a conversation, but it probably took like 2 weeks. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm never going to call him again.
I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, like
Sometimes you gotta put your foot down.
yeah, I just don't know what the etiquette was because it took like a couple weeks, but I was like, yeah, no, well, like
You're
you
not here
said,
to chase.
balls in your court.
Yeah.
Like
We're not here to chase.
yeah,
That's all you gotta do.
you got to assume they saw it and just
Yeah, happens to me all the time.
yeah.
I
All
kinda
the
wanna
time?
weigh in on that. So my like absolute best friend, he moved away like this past summer, but we've always had the type of relationship, like even in college, that like we don't talk very often, but it's kind of like mutually understood that even if we don't, like that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it kind of depends on the person.
No, I mean, if I saw this person, I'd still be like, hey, what's going on? Like, we'd still be very close. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not calling.
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
I gave you a call. Didn't want to answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What else you guys got?
John, you got one?
Yeah. Yep. So, I don't know if Dan can relate too much. He can relate in a different way. But all right, are your kids obsessed with like a food? Like, is there something that they have to have literally all the time, and if they don't have it, they freak out?
Give me an example.
So, little Nate is addicted.
Are you going to call your kids all little?
Little John, little Nate, little Nate.
I also don't know that Nate deserves the little title.
Kids
Yeah,
as big as
big boy-
Dan. He's
big
as
boy.
big as Dan. This kid's massive.
All right, Big Nate.
Yeah, you should call
Yeah.
him Big Nate.
What
That's
you
what
call?
we
What'd you
should-
yeah, the Don.
Yeah, I call him the Don.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he wears a gold chain. He's got like an Italian
Nate
horn.
Dogg.
Yeah,
Nate Dog.
yeah.
So he's addicted to applesauce pouches. Like I'm probably buying 48 pouches a week, and this kid's putting them down.
All 48.
All
Oh my God.
all 48.
I mean,
Like I'm at the point where now I'm going to
let's do some
BJ's.
quick math.
So he's averaging
I'm not. It's
I
not
mean,
a
that's
joke.
5 a day would be
to over
35.
6 a day would be
42.
42.
He's putting
He's
them
over
down.
6 a day.
Oh, he had 2 this
It's
morning.
almost 7 a day.
He-
Almost exactly 7 a
Nate,
day.
Following
listen
it
to
up
this.
with an insulin
Listen to
shot?
this breakfast. Nate had 2 applesauces, a bowl of cereal, and half of my smoothie.
This is not a little Nate. This is Big Nate.
This
Lil
kid
Nate.
is in love
Lil
with food. It's crazy. Like if there's not an applesauce, like when we go out places, we make sure we have like a box of applesauce in our diaper bag.
deck.
A case.
A case.
Essentially a case.
Yes. Like I don't go
Nate's
anywhere
doing-
without at least 10, minimum 10 applesauces.
Little Nate's doing a case race every day. An applesauce case race.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Shotgunning applesauces.
Yeah, I can't think of anything like that's one thing, but there's,
Do you get your kids the applesauce pouches?
yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. And they run through them, but we limit it to one a day.
They gotta buy stock in Mott's.
Well, my whole thing is like I'm sitting there.
Applesauce is like
It's like applesauce isn't bad.
no. I mean, depends on how much.
The only
if they add sugar.
the only
to it.
problem we're having
Or
now.
even if they don't have sugar.
Yeah, I just get the non-sugar ones, but he poops like 5 times a day.
Oh,
Yes, just
eating
fiber.
so much.
It's wild.
It's not wild. It's very obvious.
I'm just like, look, I'm like, just sitting next to him and doesn't even smell. It's just there.
it's just applesauce.
I'm just like, wow, this kid is,
So just recycle it.
yeah,
Back in the pouch. My God.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to think if there's any. Yeah, they have a few things that they really like. Definitely pouches, definitely applesauce pouches, but I mean, yeah, 5 a day.
We were sitting next to a lady on one of John's soccer teams, one of the moms, and she's like, yeah, our son had an alcohol problem, an applesauce problem.
He's an alcoholic.
Like we had to cut it back from like 10 to like 3 a day. I'm like,
Makes
like,
you
oh,
feel better
man.
about yourself.
Yeah.
That's like when you drink, you just hang out with people that are bigger drunks than you, and you're
Yeah.
like, I don't have a problem. He has a
He's the
problem.
one with the
Look at,
problem.
look at little
Look at
Nate.
him. Yeah.
He's the one with the
He's
problem.
having a 10 a day.
Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's real funny.
Wow. Well, so then I guess to piggyback on that, is there a food in your house that you just have to have, like on deck? whether it's for the kids or you guys. Just like
String
you run
cheese.
out and you automatically, it's an automatic restock.
String cheese.
Mm.
I eat probably 1 or 2 string cheeses a day.
Wow.
It's not for the children.
I should try getting back on string
It's
cheese.
good.
It's so good. Just, stick of moots.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Sargento? Kraft?
I don't know.
sorry.
I don't know what she gets, but it's delicious.
All right.
Baby Bells. You ever had a Baby Bell?
Yeah, I like Baby
Bells are good.
Yeah. Yeah, I like cheese. I'm a cheese guy.
John?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I don't really eat like snacks at my house.
No?
No. But for like the kids, goldfish. Always have goldfish.
Yeah.
Cheez-Its. Yeah. Those are 2.
What about
Always gotta get them. Bananas.
you? Yeah,
Bananas are-
gotta keep bananas on deck.
Swiss rolls.
Yeah, nice, nice. That's good. I've been getting into that, Dan. I've been hitting up the little Debbie's shelves,
they're the
and
best.
I've been coming home, and I'm like, it's great.
They're so
They're so
good.
cheap too.
They're so cheap.
So cheap. It's like $2 for.
They're
like,
cheap. Puts
10
a
of them.
smile on your face.
Oh, the best. Good.
They're the
call.
best. That
call.
and probably Chex Mix. Original Chex Mix.
Ooh. You ever try the Bold?
A little too nervous about the bold.
Really? It's got a flavor spike. It's pretty good.
Is it too bold?
Nah, it's like honestly, I might even pick Bold over traditional.
Our mom used to make
try
Chex Mix.
I love homemade Chex
It's
Mix.
so good.
Yeah.
What is it in it? Is it like Worcestershire sauce?
Yeah, Worcestershire.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Get it cooked just right. You can add some extra peanuts in it, some M&Ms.
Have you ever done like the
feel like
Chex like muddy
Yeah,
Muddy Buddies.
Muddy Buddies?
Yeah,
Those are good too.
yeah. A little too sweet for me.
Yeah, I like
I
it.
like the saltiness of it. I feel like Carol Hafferty makes a bomb ass
Oh, I
Chex
bet.
Mix.
Send us in some Chex Mix.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Chex Mix is delicious.
I'm trying to think because I grew up. Me and Jake lived right down
Yeah.
the street from each other. I grew up just like hanging out there, and I can't.
I feel like no. I
remember.
feel like they came to a party or something like that, and Carol brought a Chex Mix, and I still think about it to this day.
Yeah, that's a game
was like-
changer. Somebody
'cause it
brings
was
a
just-
homemade Chex Mix
Yeah.
to a party.
I've had some snacks at that house. That are,
Yeah.
Oh, stupid,
Yeah.
stupid. The monkey bread.
Yeah.
You ever had the monkey
Yeah,
bread?
ridiculous.
Have
It
you
was
ever
my-
had
that
the
was the
trifle?
First time I ever had it.
She brought
Oh
in
my
banana
God.
bread the other day.
Yeah, the trifle.
It's next level snacking.
Trifles are so good. My mom used to make trifles for like pasta dinners.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are ridiculous.
Yep.
Dang.
Do you guys discriminate against bugs?
Oof, yes. 1. Mosquitoes and gnats. 2, I should say. Just mosquitoes and gnats, I kill them on site.
Yeah.
It's the only 2 bugs I kill. Or try. I try not to kill. Or the other day I had a hornet in my house.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Gotta go.
sorry, buddy.
You're an enemy.
You have to die.
Enemy of the state.
Yeah. And I had to get a tissue, and he was so big, like, as I crunched him with the tissue, I could, like, feel.
Ooh, yeah.
You're an enemy.
Yeah. Yeah, those 3 things. But even, like, honeybees, I try to get them outside.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
it's, I'm not trying to get stung, but I'm trying to do it slowly and get them outside.
I'm a bug killer.
Anything.
Anything. Unless I'm outside, then I'm like, if it keeps bugging me,
Unless-
getting in my face, like I'm gonna swat it.
Yeah.
But if I'm outside, I'm not really killing anything. But inside, if you get inside, you're done.
It's fate on sight.
Oh, gone.
Fade on site.
Wow.
I think my son saw me do it one day, and he's like, "Dad," he's like, "You could have let it outside."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Snooze, you lose."
That's not the Simpkins way, boy.
wow.
Get it now.
Yep.
No,
I hate flies. I think flies are nasty.
He's like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, don't make me do it.
Kill him.
Mosquitoes,
Just-
terrible.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I think I discriminate
Ticks,
against certain
nasty.
Yeah, ticks.
Found a
Ticks
tick
can
on me
go
the
to
other day.
hell.
I'm like, oh,
ticks
get
can go to
away.
hell.
There's some bugs like spiders. I honestly don't care about spiders. They're fine. They normally do their job.
Yep.
What is their job?
They kill
Other bugs.
other
Oh.
bugs. So whenever I see like down in the basement, I'll see like some cobwebs. I'm like,
You're waving to him.
it's
You're
like,
like, he's
thanks.
on your
hey,
team.
thanks for
Thanks,
being on
guys.
duty today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks
Doing
for
a
being
great
here.
job.
Giving me an afternoon
Yeah.
off.
But in the summer, I've noticed. So you both have garages.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we use our garage is normally our main entrance into the house. Like we always just hit the button, walk in.
Yep.
And during the summer, flies just swarm in there. Like I'm talking, we have a back door that goes into our backyard, and on the window of the door, there'll be like 30, 40. We've actually already talked about this. You guys think it's the cans.
No,
Yeah.
we know it's the cans.
But whenever I walk in, they all just go, and they all start swarming everywhere. So we always get flies in the house. So I probably kill one a day.
Yeah, bugs that are annoying, flies, mosquitoes, ticks can go right to hell. I prefer to torture a tick.
Yeah. I flushed one down the toilet the other day.
That's not good enough for Dan.
I burn them. But because they're hard to kill.
Oh,
Yeah.
so hard.
And it's just, if you put them outside, they're just going to come back in.
back.
And yeah, I
Get on your
ticks.
dog.
Ticks, mosquitoes, screw them. But I just think it's funny, like, if I see like a beetle or something, or like, I don't know, something flies on me, I'm usually like a catch and release guy, right? The other day, found a ladybug. I'm like, hell yeah, ladybug.
Yeah, that's lucky.
It's just kind of, that ladybug is just a beetle. But it's kind of funny how we give the
Just let
ladybug
let
a
it crawl
pass.
up your
Yeah.
arm and everything.
Well, you know those
Inchworms?
beetles.
Love inchworms.
But you know those beetles that we get them a ton on the Cape. But those little beetles, it's almost like it's not like a moth, but like
They're the Japanese beetles.
Japanese beetles. Those things are notorious for getting in your face. Like they just swarm you.
Yeah.
Like you walk out the door, onto a deck, and there's a light on. Forget about it. You're getting hit.
Well, it's kind of funny because that's like the PETA motto for animals. Like, have you ever seen the billboards that they have where it's like all the animals? It's like dog, cat, and then it's like there's a line, and a horse, and then there's a line, and then it's like cows, chicken. It's like, nope, not eating you, but we're eating you, like all of you.
Yeah.
So I think it's just natural to kind of draw lines where it's like, you're fair game. But if
guess
somebody
so.
came home and they were like, yeah, I raised dogs. What do you raise them for? Food. You'd be like,
What the hell?
how could you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like ladybugs and inchworms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And butterflies. I saw a butterfly the other day. God,
Monarch?
giddy.
We talking monarch?
Monarch.
Ooh,
King, stay king.
They had a butterfly exhibit at Disney.
yeah?
Disney Springs.
Did you walk through?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, that's what I mean. Only butterflies can get away with that kind of shit. If you had like
But
a
caterpillars, ugh.
Oh,
Like a-
slimy.
like a bug
Furry caterpillars.
oh,
like
the
a
green ones.
bug exhibit, imagine it's like, oh, come walk through this area. It's
Nah,
just there's
pass.
bugs all in it.
Like nah.
You'd be like, no. But butterflies, you're like,
Okay.
that sounds nice.
I'm in.
That's
Yeah.
magical.
Yeah,
It's like,
they are magical.
any other bug, you'd be like, I'm good. Come through our beetle exhibit. They fly around.
Yeah.
All right.
Good thing we don't have any big bugs. Remember when we had the cicadas?
Yeah.
Remember how crazy that was? Like you'd be driving and you'd just be like, pa 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 pa.
Yeah.
Yep. They're coming back.
Are they? I
17
thought I
years.
saw one.
Yeah. They're.
I mean, they're around just every year, just not a crap ton of them.
right.
It's gonna be miserable.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how much time we got, Andrew? What are we looking at?
We started like we're at about an hour.
About an hour. Want to do one more? You want to end it?
Got one more.
All right. So the other day, it's Mother's Day. My wife's up. We're trying to get out of the house. We're going to a lacrosse game in Dartmouth. So we're driving. It's probably like 45 minutes away. It was just like a crazy morning. The kids were going crazy. We're trying to shove them in the car. We had a lacrosse game at 9, and then we had a lacrosse game at Falmouth at 11. So we're trying to get to both of those. So we're just running around. So in between lacrosse games, one of my sons is in the back of the car, and he had a body armor. Do you guys know what body armor is?
Sure.
Drinks.
It's like a Gatorade, basically.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of like screwing around with my other son. He's like pouring it on, him a little bit.
Pouring?
Ooh.
Yeah, just like a little bit, like splashing it on him and doing something, whatever, right? So my other son
Sticky.
takes the body armor, and he like throws it in the car, and we have a minivan. We have 4 kids, so you have limited choices. So they throw it. It's on the ground. My wife picks it up, and so then my son in the back that that had kind of shaken it, that it was his body armor. He is going ballistic. He's like, I want my body armor back. I want my body armor back. Right? So I'm going crazy. I'm like, stop saying body armor. I'm like, it's getting to like a bad point, right? And I'm like, if you say body armor one more time, when we get home, I'm dumping out every body armor we have in the house. And he goes, he basically goes, even, my other son's name, even his? And I'm like, all of them. And he turns and he looks at me and he goes, body armor. So I'm like livid, right?
Checkmate.
I go, I say to my wife, I'm like, give me that body armor. Give it to me. And so she like hands me his bottle. She, she's like shaking. She's like looking at me. She's like, think about what you're doing. Think about what you're doing. And we're like driving on the highway, right? So I'm like driving and I'm like, you want your body armor back? And I'm unscrewing the top, like trying to hold onto the wheel. And I'm rolling down my window and I'm pouring it all out the window as he screams his head off in the back of the car, right? Just to send a message. I screw the cap back on and I chuck it back to him.
Wow.
Right?
That's so good.
Send a message, okay? So like, but then I get home.
You got to pour them all out.
Right. So like, I haven't poured them all out yet, but I'm like,
You have to.
I know. But it's so hard when kids call your bluff, where it's like, do you go full scorched earth? Because it's like you're both pushing against each other, and it's like, all right, like you say, you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then like all of a sudden they call your bluff. And if it's like a dog where if you don't do what you say you're going to do, they just are like, oh, I can have shitty behavior and nothing's going to happen to me. So it's like it's just so hard to like, you throw down these threats, but then it's like, okay, wow, am I really going to have to follow through with this? It's a lot of body armor. I have like 4 cases of body armor.
What would Dad do?
He'd dump it all
He'd
out.
dump it all out.
Yeah.
In our face.
Yeah. And that's what I think I have.
You have to do
So
that.
is it? Wait, you still have the body armor?
Yeah. But I think I have to dump it out.
Why couldn't you?
I don't know. Maybe they forgot about it.
They don't forget. That's what I mean. It's like having kids is like prison. Like they don't forget. They find a little chink in your armor and then they spend the whole day thinking about how they can exploit that chink in your armor.
Why don't you bring it over to my house?
Yeah, I was just
and
gonna
then it's
say.
just like, yeah, poured it all out. It's gone.
I like that.
And then you're not like wasting it all. And then it's like
That's what I was thinking.
in a month you got to buy more. Just grab
Come
it
back
from my
over.
house.
Right. All right.
Yeah, that's
I
a
like
good
that.
idea.
Yep.
Because that would be awful if you have multiple cases that you're like, God, I have to
It's like
dump
$40
this out.
of pouring out.
Yeah. My only problem is Dan's going to drink all the body armor.
could.
Dan loves body armor. He
Yeah.
drinks
There's
all-
strawberry banana.
I like partying on.
I don't know if I'm into it. I tried. I saw you drinking it the other day, and like I was at the grocery store. And I was like, oh, it was on sale. I was like, I'll buy some.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of like a thick like drink. It was, I don't know. It's a little strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't love it. Honestly, my
It's
wife
good
loves
cold. You have to have it cold. I feel like
it. Every drink cold.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I hate warm drinks. Unless coffee I'll drink, but yeah, it has to be cold.
Yeah. So you would go scorched earth and you would.
Yeah, I mean I've done this before. I don't always follow through though.
Yeah.
I gotta be better at doing that.
Yeah, you got.
Sometimes I'm like, I think about it, I'm like, wow, I was really like over the top. I should like cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to.
You just gotta hide
Unless
it.
you
Just take
want
it. Don't pour
unless
it
you
out.
want a life of constantly saying,
Don't do it.
"Don't do it."
I like it. Yep.
They're trying to call your bluff.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lay down the hammer.
Yeah, you got to come
But
over
just
the top.
don't throw them out though. Give them to Dan and then take them back.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you gotta do.
All right, cool.
All right.
All right, well, thank you everybody for listening to episode 35 of the Popboyz, where you ain't a pop boy till you pop.
Boy.
And hashtag get guy.
Hashtag get guy.
And yeah, we'll see you all next week.
All right.
Awesome.
Later.
Bye.
Thanks.